Ben, today we are going to talk about something that I heard first from you. It was written on your whiteboard in your office. And it was GWC, which stands for Get It, Want It, Have the Capacity to Do It. So I think first thing I wanted to ask you is what that means and sort of maybe where you found it or where it sort of came into your life.
So Get It, Want It, Capacity to Do It is a tool that we use first and foremost as a evaluator for our employees. Do they get the job? Do they want the job? And do they have the capacity to do it? And it was on the whiteboard because it was right next to our organizational flow chart. And what we put up there, we put it right up there to make sure that as we were putting in people in the right seats, that they had those three things. So quickly, I got it from Gino Wickman, who wrote the book Traction. He has a great website called EOS Worldwide, which stands for Entrepreneurs Organizational Systems. Phenomenal book, phenomenal website. It's a system we use to run our business. Mm-hmm. To surmise each of those three, the get it is, do the employees understand the job? Do they? The way I start with this is my coaches. My coaches get it, want to have the capacity to do their role as coaches. But that's not necessarily, as we get to people to take other roles and responsibilities in the business, they might not get it, want it, and have the capacity to do it. So the get it is, do they understand the job? Do they understand the roles and responsibilities? And do they understand how the role fits in the bigger picture of the business? The next piece is, do they want it? Do they wake up excited in the morning? Do they look forward to Monday morning because they want to be doing that job? Third one is the capacity to do it. Do they have the time and the skill set to be able to do that job well? As I said, our coaches, for coaching, get it. They understand the roles of the coach. They understand how that coaching role fits into the business. They want it. That's what they feel like they put on earth to do. They love their jobs and the capacity to do it. They have the skill set and the time. Mm-hmm. That doesn't fit everything we ask of everybody. So that's an evaluation tool that we use.
Right. Because I imagine that the want it part can get a little bit tricky.
They all get a little bit tricky. Yeah. So I actually think that the want it one, yes. So the want it one.
Like nobody wants to clean the bathroom. Well, maybe somebody does.
Yeah, that's
you know
yeah, I mean? Yep. Yeah, that's a valid point. But do they want that job?
Right.
Like
okay.
the job is
the bigger picture.
The bigger picture job.
Which may involve clean the bathroom. Blah,
yeah,
blah,
for
blah.
sure. So people are motivated by coaching, but they might not be psyched about like having to fill out an after action report.
Yeah.
Right? Well, guess what? That comes with the duties of it's still a job, it's work. There's other things you need to do to fulfill the roles and responsibilities. It's more about, do they understand the big picture role of the job and how it contributes to the organization? So that's the one. It's the one I think is the most tricky, that people probably overlook more than any. And what we were doing as we were a small business expanding was the capacity to do it. We're presented with a lot of great opportunities, a lot of things that we want to take advantage of, but we just don't have the capacity to take advantage of all of the ones that are in front of us. From a manual standpoint of just man hours, you have a fixed amount of resources: time, effort, energy, money, people, whatever it is. If you're diluting those into a whole bunch of different buckets, like you're not gonna be able to fill all those buckets up all the way to the top. Mm-hmm. Something's gonna have to sacrifice somewhere along the way. That's the capacity thing you need to recognize. So we've foregone a lot of opportunities and let go of some things that we're doing very well because we realized that it wasn't in our wheelhouse.
Of the GWC, I can imagine, and it's happened in my life, and I imagine it happens in a lot of people's lives, where they get it and they want it, but it's the capacity thing that gets really tricky, because sometimes the want can overwhelm your better judgments that, okay, I don't actually have time for that. I don't have the capacity to do that, but I'm still going to do it because I really want it.
Yep.
So I'm curious if you've ever come across another situation where you had the G, you had the W, but you recognize I just can't do this, and I have to say no to it.
I believe that you can do one thing at an exceptional world-class level. I think that you can do two things at a very, very good professional level. I believe that you can do three things really well, and people would look up to you and say that you're an expert in those domains. I think once you try and bring on a fourth thing, you become mediocre.
Across the board.
Across the board.
At everything. Yep.
When I started to pursue coaching. I made the very real and distinct decision out loud that I no longer had the capacity to be an athlete myself. I was running a business. I had a family, a growing family. I was an athlete competing at the CrossFit Games on a team, and I was starting this coaching pursuit. As my family became more of a priority in my life and my businesses grew and I really wanted to invest everything I could to be a good coach, I knew I no longer had the capacity to be an elite athlete. As much as I wanted it and I thought I could do it, it wasn't something that I should be doing. I needed to cut it somewhere because I don't have the capacity to be substantially above average in that many different categories. And again, like I believe that you can, I'm aware of the fact that I am not extremely exceptional in any one of those three. Right. I can't be because I don't have the capacity to be in three.
Right.
For me to do that, I have to give one of those up. And that's not a right or wrong decision. It's just what works well for me is I want greater balance in my life. And I've said this before, but I believe that in terms of people that are trying to become exceptional at their craft, balance is overrated.
Right.
Because by necessity, what we're saying is you have 100% of effort. Well, to be exceptional, you have to put 100% of that effort into one thing. Me, I'm trying to pour it into three different buckets.
Right.
So what I'm trying to do is just get really good at three things.
Right.
And to me, that's what makes me happy. I want that balance, knowing that I'm not, it pains me to say this, but I know I'm not the greatest coach I could be. I know I'm not. I just don't have the time to do it. I want to be a great dad and a great spouse and a great family member, but I know I could be better. And I want to be a great business owner and a great affiliate owner and be able to do things like this, but I could do that even better if I was to sacrifice the other two, but that's not what would make me happy.